Shane Trader and TGIF. Last day of the old week here. Got to make it count. Okay, so we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. Now, a lot of earnings came out yesterday. Apple had really just blowout numbers, but you can see actually the stock only ripped up about 5-6 points, and now you're actually down a couple points here. So you got to really watch that tech trade that's getting pretty toppy kind of a situation. Same way with the gold and the silver. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation by Sunny Stock Market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin, your daily chart. Now, you can see here how we had this nice big sell-off here yesterday. Yesterday we got down low as at 83,210, and today so far it came all the way down here to 81,210. Okay, so what we're looking for is right here. This is going to be your key level, is at 8750 level, so that's the level that we have to watch. Okay, now again, we've started losing this level right here. That's going to be very, very critical. Then we're going to come right over here to the left of the chart here. Okay, you're looking at 490 level. Okay, we can come down here to the bottom here. There, you're looking at what are we looking at? Oh yeah, 76,390, and then we have 74,655, and then here's your big retest at 74,635. That's going to be your key because we come off to the top of this candle here. You can see how that lines up here pretty nicely. Now, if we start losing that, we could come all the way down here. You got your 69 level. We'll come up here. You got your 67 level, and then we can just venture all the way on down here, 61. Okay, and we come down here at 57, and we can have a nice big retest down here all the way at that 59 level if it keeps on selling off. But right now, what you just want to watch today is we want to watch that key level at right here, the bottom of this candle at that 8750 level. That's going to be very, very crucial. Okay, now again, just watch this area here because this is going to be the tell. If we start losing that level and we start losing the 74,635. Well, it's going to be good night, Irene, because this is just going to get hammered right on down, okay? Now, on the upside, okay, you can see we put a bottoming tail in here, but let's see on the upside here. So far, we made a high of 84 on 945 level, okay? So what we're looking for is the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 85 on 900 level. We'll go to the bottom there. No, what am I looking at? Sorry about that. We're looking at, 85, 900 level. And then we're looking at 87, 210. And then we'd be looking right here at that 87, 869 level. And then we have that 50-day sitting at 89, 954. And then we have your 21-day at 90, 839. So I just want to show you how important this 8-day is, okay? You can see how when the price is above it, it wants to stay above it. Once that price gets below it, it's a real tough time. But to see how that 8-day, it rolled up against the 21-day, and then it came right on down again, okay? It rolled up here, looked like it was going to push that price at least at 100 to 200-day, but once that rolled over and you crossed over that 21-day and you crossed over that 50-day, you see how strong that is, okay? So right now, what we had here is a bear flag situation, and then we had another flag coming on up, and you notice that it just could not get above. That was all that key level. See what I'm saying? It can't do it. See how when that 8-day crosses over, that's always like a tail that says, hey, this is just going to go lower because that price has to be above, when you have that bullish cross of the 21-day and the 50-day. But once you get that bearish cross of it, it just pushes that price on down. So I don't think the selling is done here in Bitcoin. I think if we have any kind of rally up here, with that 8-day is going to be very, very strong. So if it does rally up, watch that 87, 858. Watch this key level right here at that 89, 953, and then watch that 21-day at 90, 835. If we get above that, yeah, we have a lot of resistance here, but there's no sense even worrying about that because you got so much resistance here before you even start to attempt to get to that 98, 200 level. And now 34, this is not overbought or oversold. The green just crossed over red. You can see the momentum, but see the red flags that one I like to point out here. See when that green crosses over, that's momentum, okay, and that shows momentum to the downside. Okay, and then next thing is when that 8-day crosses that 21-day, that's the first tell, and it crosses the 50-day. This is going to be, looks like it just wants to go lower. Now, the key is if it can hold the bottom of that candle, that 87.50, if it can, we could get a double bottom in play, and then, yes, we could rally back up again. But this is going to be key level here, that 87.50. That's what we want to watch today. Now, if you're a two-lane trader like me, you don't really care, okay? BITX for the long, BITI for the short. It's been a really good shorting opportunity. So, for a guy like me, it doesn't really make a difference. But if you're just saying, hey, I'm a long trader, then, you don't want to do any kind of a holding kind of a situation. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold. Here we have silver. Now, this is what I've been telling you about. Why I have not been involved in this situation here until this was my last time I traded here. We put a topping tail in there, okay, and then I didn't want to do anything. And then I snuck in there because we made a little bit higher high, and that was pretty much it for the trade. Yeah, did I miss a little bit? Yeah, but I don't care because I say this is just when you get to these over these 80 marks here on this RSI here. Okay, that tells you that that's a big red flag, and when you come all the way up here, you're over that 200 mark. That tells you that this is a big red flag, that something is not right here, okay? And then we had this big indecision candle rally red on up here. Yesterday, today so far, I couldn't do nothing, and now we're coming all the way down. Now, that being said, we are still holding that 8-day at that 51.19 level. But remember, there's going to be huge volatility in these commodities at these kind of prices. That's number one. And there's going to have, and the same way with the market, okay? See, once this earnings season is done, okay, you got to have another catalyst kind of situation. So a lot of times you get a good sell off here. So remember, these markets are going to be really, really wild. Okay, so just get used to this, volatility situation. Okay, so right now we're holding that key level, that 51.19. If we lose that, we'll come down to the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 5,004, and then we'll come down here at 49.62. That was today's low, and then we can venture down here at that 49.01 level. We come down there at 47.72. Then we have right here 47.57. That is going to be your key level. Then we have your 50-day, and then obviously we have your 100-day and a 200-day. But right now it's sold right on down, but we're holding this 8-day. For me, I have no interest in trading this as of right now. This is just, when you get that nosebleed section, if I miss a little bit, I don't care. There's so many other things to trade. Okay, but again, if you're a long trader, then you want to take and just do it like the GLD as an easy trade. Okay, so then on the upside here, looking at that 51.90 level kind of a situation, and then we can come all the way up to the top of there at 54.52. Today's high so far 54.80, and then we have that big test of 56.26. But I say this is nosebleed, so if you're trading this, you stop because this is going to be really real wild when you get up to all these kind of levels. Silver, exact same thing. I have no position in silver, and I have no intention to take a position in silver here. Okay, this here we could not get through this top of that candle. That was at 117.70. We popped right up here, and you can see how it popped right on down, popped right up here, and it came right on down. Now we're sitting below that 8-day. So that 8-day now is going to be your resistance levels at 105.43 level. Okay, if we can get above that, we come up there at 106.61. We come to the bottom there. You're looking at 110 level, and then we come up there at 113, and then we come up to that 117, and then we have today's high at 118, and then at 121.78. That's going to be your big target. You crack that, you probably go to that 125 area. But when you get this RSI over 80, just got to be very, very careful because a lot of times that is so overbought. And what you got going here is you got FOMO. Okay, nobody wanted a silver when it was down here, and then everybody wants it when it's up there because I'm missing out here. But right now here, just be very, very careful on the downside here. Watch today's low. That's that 95, and then watch that 91 level. Okay, and when it cracks on down here, we can come all the way down to your 50-day here. You retest at 69, 100-day, and all the way down to the 200-day. But again, for me, there's no trade here for me. This is just too much risk for way too little. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. All right, here we have crude oil. Now I've been pointing out here this 200-day now sitting at 62.23. Now your 8-day is actually above that at 62.37. Very, very nice. Okay, now you can see how it rallied right on up here, and then I was always pointing out here it got as high as 66.48 yesterday. This was the top of the candle. I've been pointing out here for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. 66.42, and I say here's the retest on that right there, 66.42. We got to 66.48, so he came in within 6. See how nice that works? Okay, so if you want to always use it daily and a weekly chart, these price channels, they work out so nice. Look at that, see, because you can see where it just went right in it. Okay, that's the key right there. Okay, see 66.42. Look how nice that works. Okay, so the key was to getting over that 200-day. Then the next level was going to be getting over that 50-day. Then your next big target was going to be that 66.42, and we went right into it, and we just couldn't hold it. Got as high as 66.48. Now. Today so far we made that low of 63.64. Yesterday we had a low of 63.28. So and the high, we have an inside day here so far. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. So on the upside here, we're watching that 66.48 now. Okay, but again, 66.42 is going to be the key that you have to close over. Okay, close over. Once you do, okay, then we can hit that 648, okay? Then what we do is we just venture right to the left here, okay? So then you come up here, you're looking at 67.74 level, okay? Then we come down to the bottom there, 68.45. And then we venture up here, 69.58, and then we come all the way up here to 70.51. Okay, just that easy. So if you look at the weekly chart, all you do is bring this price channel right across, and that's your next big target at 70.51. Okay, see how easy it is? Now, there's a lot of out there that have a lot of charts and they have all this stuff on it and all that. You don't need all that nonsense. Okay, just here's what you do. I traded this here for 2.5 decades. Okay, all you need is your 8-day, okay, your 21-day, your 50-day, 100-day, 200-day, and these price channels. Okay, now look how easy it is. When we were down here, I said if it's going to rally up, we're going to watch that 200-day, which went above. Then we're going to watch that 50-day, and then we're going to watch the retest here at 66.42. And where did it go? Right there. So how much money could you make? Okay, you don't need all these big indicators here and all this. It's all nonsense. Use volume, MACD, and RSI. That's all you need to trade. Okay, keep it simple. The more simple your plan is, the more money you're going to make. It's just that's just reality. Okay, so bottom line here today, what you want to watch is just watch that 66.42 and that 66.48, and then your big target obviously here is going to be right there. It's going to be that 70.51 level. Okay. Now, on the downside, well, we obviously want to watch today's low here. You're looking at 63.64. We'll come down to yesterday's low, 63.28. And then we'll be watching that 8-day at 62.38 and then 62.23. That's going to be your 200-day, your 8-day, and your 200-day. Those are very, very key. Now, obviously, if we start losing that, well, then we come up here, 61.71. We come up there, 61.36 level. Then we come all the way down to your 21-day, which has now crossed your 50-day, crossed your 100-day, and move it on up here nicely. So as this 8-day moves up, okay, this consolidates, this moves up, that's going to provide very, very nice support on the way down kind of a situation, okay? So on your weekly here, always watch that 50-day. That's going to be very, very key. Then we have your 21-day, and then we have your 8-day. Just that simple. And then watch right there, 66.42. Next big level, just bring the price channel across right there, 70.51. Okay, very, very easy. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, here we have natural gas. Now, basically, this is a trade, okay? We had the contract roll this week, came right on down, and we held that nice 3.58. That's your 200-day, okay? See how simple that is, okay? Now, on the downside here, what you want to watch is obviously is today's low, okay? So you're watching that 381. We watched yesterday's low at 372, and then 358. That's going to be key. We lose it, you come right down to the gap, okay? 338, we'll come up to the fill at 323, and then we have your retest at 3 flat. Okay, we lose that right there, 289. Okay, 277, and right there we got 262. Okay, just that's it. That's simple. Now, upside here we're hanging right around that 100-day. Okay, 387. Now get above that. Then what we'll do is we'll be looking here for that 400, that 4 flat. That's your 21-day, and then we'll be looking here for that 426. Now your next big target is going to be all the way up here. Is going to be that 8-day at 496. Okay, just that simple. We start getting above that. Well, we got big targets going all the way up here. You got that 549 level. We can come all the way up to that 7 level. But right now, that's not what we had. We had this parabolic run because of the weather. Okay, weather. Not because of supply and demand here over a long period of time like LNG or anything like that. It was just the weather taking the rate on up. Now, we had a huge draw. But now this week is going to be starting to warm up. Now, right now, it's minus 4 degrees here. Okay, but today is going to be the last day of the cold, and then we're going to start rallying up here. But we're going to be in the teens, the 20s, and might even hit 30 degrees here now. So again, what could take natural gas could be a really nice, good short. But watch that 358. Once we start losing that, then we have the gap to fill, and you come all the way down to that 3 very, very easily. Okay, so bottom line, this is a trade. That's all this is. This trade, long and short, long and short, long and short. Okay. Upside, just watch that 100-day, watch that 21-day, and then we can go up to the 50-day and the 8-day, one level at a time. Okay. This was just a parabolic short squeeze that just ran right on up here to a ridiculous amount of number, which you know is not going to last if you're just depending on the weather. Okay. So again, just always remember that. Now remember, when you trade these ETFs, UNG, KOLD, BOIL, there's a zillion ETFs out there. Just remember, these are trading vehicles. These are not buy and hold. These are trading vehicles. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here at midday trading. And right now, the NASDAQ futures are down 160. So even though Apple had completely ridiculously blowout numbers, it don't mean dick. So I always tell you the same thing. It's not the numbers that matters. It's the reaction to it that does. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.